Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I am possible. And if you just combine I am possible, then it becomes impossible. But this word says that I am possible. That is said by Audrey Hepburn, the great artist of her time. Now, the genetics of the freckles. Freckles show a dominant inheritance pattern. Parents who have freckles tend to have children with freckles. Freckles are primarily controlled by MC1R gene. Women with the freckles is related to rare alleles of MC1R gene. This controlled number of freckles MC1R gene is also associated with red hair more strongly than with the freckles. Most red hair individuals have two variants of the MCR, MC1R gene. The variants that cause red hair are same that cause freckling. So here one can see the father have got one capital F and one small f, and mother also have one capital F, one small f, and the siblings, if they are having the two small f, they do not have any freckles, one from the father, one from the mother, and the sibling, those who get one capital F and one small f, one from the father, another from the mother, they are having the freckles. Similarly, the one capital F and one small f from the father and mother, these are having the freckle. And if they do have one capital F and one capital F from the mother, they are freckles and with the red hair people. These are the alleles, no freckles, and these are which do have the chromosome responsible for the freckle. Similarly, freckles dominant, yes, freckles on the various body parts, and in case of the recessive, no freckles present. Here is an example, the two small f from the mother and father, no freckle at all. And here these which do have one f from mother or father, they are having the freckles. Now, continuing the genetics, there are two types of the melanin. One is eumelanin, brown or black hair and dark skin that tan easily, and the other is pheomelanin, which is red or blonde hair, freckle, and light skin. And MC1R gene makes protein called melanocortin 1 receptor, which plays an important role in pigmentation, that is located on the surface of the melanocyte. The melanocortin 1 receptor controls which type of the melanin is being produced, whether eumelanin or pheomelanin. Activation, production of the eumelanin, inactivation, production of pheomelanin. So these are going to control the production of which melanin is there. Now that is the different genes control, and as one can see MCR, MC1R genes, and that is ultraviolet radiation that stimulate the keratinocytes which produce melanin, and that melanin just uh, is responsible for eumelanin basically, and that causes the problem in freckles. Now, biology of the freckles. The formation of the freckle is caused by exposure to the sunlight. The exposure to the ultraviolet B radiation activates melanocytes to increase melanin production. Ultraviolet B rays, not ultraviolet A. These can cause freckles to become darker and more visible. Heavily distributed concentration of the melanin cause freckles to multiply and to cover an entire area of the skin, such as the face. Freckles are rare on the infants and seen in children before puberty. Upon exposure to the sun, these do form and are seen. Here one can see the melanocytes and the melanin that is being produced on exposure to the sunlight, and then it is migrating upward to the keratinocytes and giving the color to the this skin cells which are responsible for freckle. And here again one can see the melanocytes producing the melanin on exposure to the. Now the freckle, one can see the melanin in case of the freckles, and normally there is no that quantity of the melanin, and here there is more quantity of the melanin, and in case of the lentigo there is much more quantity of the melanin. Now normal skin, as one can see, and skin with the aphylides, that is, one can see there is no coloration of the keratinocyte upper layers, and here there is the pigment producing melanocytes. They are depositing the melanin in this layer, and here there is no melanin deposition, so that is the normal skin. But here the skin with the aphylides or the freckles, and here the skin with lentiginase, that is much more melanin is being deposited here in this layer, and that is different. Here the quantity is less, and here there is no such quantity as one can appreciate here, and much more there on this type of skin, causing lentiginase and freckles or aphylides. Now freckles will reappear if altered with creams or the lasers and not protected from skin, but do fade with age in some cases. Freckles are not a skin disorder. In freckles, there is lower concentration of the photoprotective melanin, so prone to harmful effects of the ultraviolet radiation. People whose skin tends to freckle should avoid overexposure to the sun and should always use sunscreen to protect themselves. And here one can see the freckles on the face, sun exposure, that is just stimulating the melanocyte and producing the color which is in the form of freckle. Here again the sun exposure that stimulate the melanocytes and that start producing more melanin, that is from the basal layer, and this is going toward the epidermis and then to the horny layers, and just giving this melanin to this keratinocytes layer, and that is forming the freckles on the face. Now, how to do diagnosis of freckle? Just by the physical examination or the dermoscopy. No confirmatory test is there. Do biopsy to confirm, or if there is any suspicion of any malignancy, so do biopsy to confirm that it is not. There one can see the dermoscopy for everyone to see the nature of this pigmented skin, and one can do the biopsy to rule out the possibility of any skin cancer. Here one can see the beautiful decoration by a man with flowers. It's extraordinary photograph of a person who has posed for this photograph, and how much labor he has done to put all these flowers on his different parts of the body. That is really marvelous. Now, the differential diagnosis of the freckle, that is lentigo, mole, melanocytic nevus, seborrheic keratosis, pigmented actinic keratosis, pigmented basal cell carcinoma, sclerosing hemangioma, subungual or periungual hematoma. So here one can see the moles, freckles as one can appreciate melasma. It is also the coloring of the skin, but it is a bit lighter as compared to the freckles than age spots as one can see in the older age groups. And here there is melanocytic nevi, and here there is seborrheic keratosis, and here there is actinic keratosis, subungual hematoma, and that is the hemangioma, strawberry colored, and here is pigmented superficial basal cell carcinoma. So these are all the differential diagnosis. One need treatment if freckles have jagged borders, are not symmetrical, are sore, have a diameter of more than 6 millimeter, become raised off of the skin, have dark patches or the multiple colors start to grow or change size of the color. So the treatment, natural freckles do not need treatment. As one get older, they become lighter on their own or go away entirely. Chemicals like alpha hydroxy acid, AHA, and trichloroacetic acid, TCA, is sometimes used. Laser treatment, cryotherapy by skin freezing, and chemical peels, creams like retinol, a form of the vitamin A, is sometimes used. So here one can see alpha hydroxy acid, trichloroacetic acid, and Q-switched anti-arc laser, that is freckles, the best treatment as one can see before and after the laser treatment. And now the cryosurgery for the freckles, freezing and the chemical peel and the retinol cream which is being used, and one can see the result of the chemical peel. And here are the beautiful trees and unbelievable. All these trees are not straight and they are curved like that. I have seen all this place and I was astonished to see the nature's beauty, how God Almighty have made these trees to turn like that. It's unbelievable. Now, freckle prevention. Avoid getting more freckles by protecting yourself from sun. Use sun protective clothing. Increase vitamin C intake. Always use water resistant sunscreen with broad spectrum protection, SPF of 30 or higher degree. Use tinted moisturizer. Never use tanning beds. Do not get sunburned. Stay in the shade, especially from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and get rid of the freckles on the face, skin, and body. And there are certain home remedies for that. That is lemon juice, aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, buttermilk, papaya. But their results are not confirmed and they have got no scientific end for that. So that's the end of the freckles. I hope you may have liked this lecture, and if you have liked this lecture, please subscribe the channel and like the lecture and just share it with friends and others.